The year is 64 AD. You live in the Subura, Rome's most cramped, most violent district. Six-story wooden insulae packed so tight the sun barely touches the street. You share a fourth-floor room with 11 other people. The rent is 48 sesterces a month. You make 52. You're a fuller. You spend your days standing in a stone vat of human urine, stomping wool with your bare feet until the fibers soften. The ammonia burns your skin raw. Your hands are cracked and white. You smell like something between a latrine and a tannery, and no amount of scrubbing at the public fountain changes that. This is the life, and you've made peace with it. What you haven't made peace with is what happens every 7 days. Before dawn on the first day of the week, you climb down 4 flights of stairs in total darkness. You cross 2 alleys where the Collegium boys run protection rackets. You knock 3 times on a door near the Via Lata. A woman named Prisca opens it. She checks your face. She lets you in. There are 31 of you, 14 slaves, 9 freedmen, 6 foreign laborers, 2 Roman citizens who never sit together in public. The room is a converted warehouse. Low ceiling, 1 oil lamp, no windows. The air is thick with sweat and cheap bread. Someone reads a letter. It came from Antioch, copied 4 times by hand. The Greek is rough. Half the room doesn't understand it. A man named Linus translates into street Latin, pausing to explain words that don't carry over. The letter talks about a Jewish carpenter who died under Pontius Pilatus 30 years ago and supposedly came back. You believe it. You can't explain why. You just do. And that belief is about to cost you everything. Rome doesn't care what you believe. Rome cares what you do. The problem is that what you refuse to do is visible. You don't pour wine at the Lararium shrine in your building's entryway. Your neighbors notice. You don't eat meat sacrificed at the temple of Jupiter Optimus Maximus. Your co-workers notice. You skip the Ludi Romani, the 16-day festival that shuts down the city every September. Everyone notices. In Rome, religion isn't private devotion. It's civic infrastructure. You sacrifice to the gods so the harvest comes, so the legions win, so the emperor stays healthy. When you opt out, you're not expressing a preference. You're threatening the contract between Rome and its gods. The Latin word is superstitio. It means a foreign, irrational, and dangerous belief that destabilizes the Pax Deorum, the peace of the gods. That's you. For a while, nobody does anything about it. The authorities have bigger concerns. You're invisible. Just another provincial cult meeting in a basement. Then Rome burns. July 18th, 64 AD. The fire starts near the Circus Maximus, in the shops that line the eastern end. Wind carries it across the Palatine. It burns for 6 days. 3 of Rome's 14 districts are leveled completely. 7 more are severely damaged. Hundreds of thousands are homeless. The grain supply is disrupted. People are sleeping in tombs along the Via Appia because there's nowhere else. Emperor Nero opens his private gardens for refugees. He drops the grain price. He organizes a massive rebuilding effort. None of it matters. The rumor spreads anyway. Nero started the fire. Nero fiddled while Rome burned. Nero wanted to rebuild the city in his own image. He needs someone else to blame. The Roman historian Tacitus will write it down decades later. Nero chose the people the populace already despised. He chose you. The arrests start at night. The vigils, Rome's fire brigade and night watch, come in groups of 4. They don't knock. They know where you meet because one of the 31 talked. You never find out who. You're taken to the Tullianum first, Rome's oldest prison. It's not a holding facility. It's a stone pit beneath the Forum, 12 feet underground, no light, no ventilation. The floor is wet year-round. You're held there for 3 days with no formal charge. Then you're moved to the cells beneath the amphitheater. Here's what Roman law allows for non-citizens convicted of superstitio or crimes against the state. crucifixion, damnatio ad bestias, condemnation to the beasts, or the tunica molesta, a tunic soaked in pitch, tied to a stake, and set on fire. You are not a citizen. There is no trial in any meaningful sense. The cognitio extra ordinem system gives the magistrate full discretion. He examines you, asks if you're a Christian, and waits for your answer. If you say yes, you're condemned. If you say no and offer incense to the emperor's genius, his divine spirit, you walk free. 12 words. That's the distance between you and a death that Roman engineers designed to be as visible and prolonged as possible. Some of the 31 recant. Prisca doesn't. Linus doesn't. You don't. The execution is scheduled for the evening. And Nero has transformed his Vatican gardens across the Tiber into an entertainment venue. Torches line the pathways. Citizens wander through like it's a night market. There's food, music, chariot demonstrations, and between the hedgerows, wooden stakes. You're stripped naked. A rough linen tunic drenched in resin and tar is pulled over your head. The smell hits first. Thick, chemical, choking. Your arms are tied to the stake behind your back. The rope cuts into your wrists. The ground beneath your feet is packed dirt, still warm from the afternoon sun. Around you, 26 others, some praying, some screaming. A woman 3 stakes down is singing something in Aramaic. You don't know the words. You understand every syllable. The torches are lit from the bottom. The pitch catches fast. The pain doesn't start where you expect. It starts at your ankles, then climbs. The body's instinct is to thrash, but the ropes hold. The smoke is the mercy. If you breathe it in deep enough, you lose consciousness before the flames reach your chest. Roman citizens walking the garden paths can smell it for days. Tacitus writes that even those who hated the Christians began to feel pity, not because they believed them innocent, but because the punishment seemed to serve one man's cruelty rather than the public good. But here's what Tacitus doesn't write about: the ones who survived that night, the ones who watched from the crowd and went back to the Subura, the ones who still met the following week. Different door, different house, same bread, same letter, same low ceiling, and single oil lamp. There are 19 of them now. Within a generation, Rome will formalize the legal framework. Pliny the Younger, governor of Bithynia, will write to Emperor Trajan around 112 AD asking how to handle the Christian problem. Trajan's reply sets the template. Don't seek them out, but if they're reported and refuse to recant, execute them. It's a policy of passive extermination. You're safe as long as no one turns you in. Your neighbor, your landlord, your business rival, your own slave. Anyone with a grudge and a name to give, you live every day inside that math. The faith spreads anyway. By the end of the 1st century, there are communities in every major city in the empire: Corinth, Ephesus, Thessalonica, Alexandria, Carthage. The catacombs beneath Rome, originally Jewish burial tunnels in the soft tufa rock, become meeting places. Not because they're secret. Everyone knows they're there. But because Roman law makes burial sites sacrosanct, technically you can't be arrested underground. Technically, you learn to read the signs. A fish scratched into a wall. The Greek word ixthys, Jesus Christos Theoios Soter, Jesus Christ, Son of God, Savior. Each letter the first letter of each word. It's a code. It's an identity marker. It's scratched into catacomb walls, pressed into wet clay, drawn in the dust of a market stall, and wiped away before anyone looks twice. 250 years will pass before Constantine legalizes the faith. 250 years of living inside this architecture of risk. Generation after generation making the same choice in the same kind of room. Small, dark, dangerous. 31 people become 19. 19 become 12. 12 become 200. 200 become tens of thousands. And every single one of them walked past a shrine they could have touched, said a prayer they didn't believe, poured wine they didn't mean, and walked free. They didn't. The room is still dark. The bread is still cheap. The letter is still being read. You're still there.